with a little flavor there. That's the KDKA-TV music, and we've got Bob Pompeani on the call tonight, Channel 2. Steelers, Packers, 7 o'clock for some of the marbles. Pomp, thank you for joining us, man. We do this every year. We know it's a long, busy day, so we do appreciate it.
Anytime, Adam. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, man.
Fantastic.
Don't you just love to hear those pipes coming through the phone?
Yeah, I sure do.
Oh, man.
Especially
they have
in the morning.
fresh fish.
Can't get any lower.
Bob, do you think Rodgers is playing tonight? Because when I heard him talk, I thought, no way. Then when I watched the video clip, he sort of gave like a weird nod, wink. Do you have any insight there?
I don't think one way or the other, whether he does or doesn't, because I had the same feeling you did. He's, after that first came out, when he did the podcast, I thought, okay, he's going to play, and that's unusual because he hasn't. Then I thought, no, he isn't. So I don't think so. I think Mike McCarthy's going to kind of play this all the way up to, and we'll see. If he does, I don't think he'll play very long. That would make a lot of sense. So I do expect to see all of these quarterbacks at some point, maybe without the exception of Rodgers. I don't know at this point.
Bob, you've been doing this for years. I'm sure that, there's a little angst with you before you call your first preseason game every year. There's probably some excitement with you whenever you call your first preseason game every year. But what's the intrigue like for you, heading into tonight's game, knowing that everything is really different? Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, whole new staff, just a whole new regime. Do you have any, or how is your intrigue for tonight's game?
Well, I think Dorn is probably be like a player who has to go through it as well. You get used to certain things, especially guys who've been around here for a long time. They're used to one way of doing things. All of a sudden it changes. So I'm anxious to see exactly, what they do from an offensive point of view first, specifically offense, because that's what he does, and he's in charge of that offense, and he will call the plays on that offense. I don't know if that's the case in preseason. I imagine it will. There's a new DC out there. I want to see what they do. Not that we're going to see it, and this is the challenge of preseason, Doran, because we're not going to see everything they're going to want to show you. But I'm going to be interested to see if they give you any kind of indication that they may be using three of those edge rushers, moving people around, different chess pieces, blitz more. How active will they be from a secondary in terms of secondary blitzes, blitz off different angles that you wouldn't expect. And a player, when he gets healthy, like Jalen Ramsey, to me, is a guy who I think they'll use much differently than he was maybe used last year. Even more as far as a hybrid guy who's moving all around, because they do seem to have, once Porter signs, they have enough depth on that corner position that they could utilize him differently. So it's all new to everybody. I'm excited to see it because I want to see different trends that we may get an indication of that we see in the regular season.
Bob Pompeani, you of course know the voice. He's with us on the hotline presented by Sullivan Super Service, Pittsburgh's trusted plumbing and HVAC provider for over 50 years. Bob, do you think there's a legitimate chance they keep 4 quarterbacks? Because if not, it feels like, boy, if there's one guy that's got a ton of pressure on him tonight, that would be William Howard.
Yeah, I think you're talking about a guy who has probably a lot of adrenaline. It's Will Howard, because he missed this opportunity last year, would have given him a bigger jump on the competition here with Drew Aller or Mason Rudolph for that matter. So, yeah, I'm sure he's going to be stoked. He hasn't played since that national championship game, and that was pretty impressive. I believe it was the MVP of that game. And, but ever since then, it's just been practice. It's been, 7-on-7s and this kind of stuff. So we're going to see him in the driver's seat for a while. I don't know exactly when he's going to get in, but you're certainly going to see him. As far as 4 quarterbacks, though, you guys, it's hard for me to imagine that they do it because they haven't done it. Cleveland last year did it because out of necessity. They drafted 2 quarterbacks. They had no starter. They didn't know what they were doing. The Steelers, if they believe Howard and Aller could be an answer as they move forward, because there'll be no Rodgers next year, then they may be forced to do that if they believe that. However, the problem with that is you take 4 quarterbacks, that means somebody else has got to give up a spot. Now, the other thing is they have a bunch of special teams guys who are listed as position guys. For example, right, Skoranek, we know he's a wide receiver, but he's really a special teams guy. He will get in there from now on. Caden Weegan, the guy from Iowa, he's a guy who I doubt that he'll be a part of the passing game on a regular basis, but he's supposed to be a really good guy on the special teams. You may have to keep him. And Travis Homer's another guy who's a very good special teams guy, but he's listed as a running back. It does impact a player that you're going to have to maybe not have in your roster if you decide to keep 4.
Pomp, do you like the Landon Roberts reunion with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, yeah, I think that's good. I was one of those who believed he should have, stayed, or they could have kept him last year, because what we saw the year before was pretty good. I mean, he was a guy who was very good in the run game, and I think given the fact that their statistics last year show you that they had a problem stopping the run, anybody can do that. Now, that also brings into question, Doran, somebody's going to have to go. Mm-hmm. When somebody like that, I don't know who it may be. Malik Harrison was brought here. He signed a 2-year deal, I think it was last year. Cole Holcomb's been around. They know what he is. You got 2 young guys on the outside. Bruner's going to make this team. He's a good special teams guy as well, and he'll be depth. Roberts will be a good addition, but it's also going to cost somebody a job.
Bob, who do you think we'll be talking about when we wake up tomorrow? Give us a guy that you think might stand out that other people might not be thinking about right now.
I guess one on defense would be Dalen Everett, because
they love him, Bob.
Yeah, it was a whole draft designed for offense, and right in the middle of it, boom, they go for a cornerback. And he's a guy who, one of the few people in today's game who decided in this transfer portal era to stay at one place forever, and he did 4 years at Georgia. Maybe he was being paid a lot there. Good for him, but he didn't have to move around. So I expect to see him get a lot of playing time. As a result, he'll probably be a name you'll be talking about after that. As far as offensively, a guy, and I'm partial to this guy because we saw him in the preseason last year. He may not even make the team. He was on the practice squad, but Lou Nichols is a running back who had the best preseason of anyone really on their offense last year. But he's fighting that job. They brought in Dowdle. They have Caleb Johnson. They have a whole bunch of people there, and if they keep that Travis Homer, then he won't find a spot unless it's a practice squad. But I expect him to do well. I'm hoping Eli Heidenreich does well, just because of who he is, what he represents. Good kid, Naval Academy. He's going to get some play, I would imagine. So we'll see.
Pomp, do you think that Acrisure Stadium is going to be packed with the new regime? Kind of asked you that before. You think that it's going to be loud and it's going to be packed, and knowing that the Packers are going to be here and the relationship between Rodgers and the Packers, Mike McCarthy and the Packers, LaFleur and Rodgers, just all the outside stuff, and then the new regime, do you think it's going to be a loud down in the North Shore tonight?
I think people are anxious for football, for sure, Norton. So I would expect it. I don't know about packed. I mean, the seats were being sold. How many people? Because typically a lot of people, may have the seats, but don't get down there. I don't know what the attendance will be, but I hope it is. I think it's a very good way to start this off, that it's Green Bay and all the relationships that have gone on before that. In fact, I think LaFleur was hired after McCarthy there, so he's the guy who succeeded him in Green Bay. He's been there ever since. A lot of different storylines there, so... Yeah, I think it'll be good. I hope the weather holds out. This has been a crappy August so far.
It has. Bob, do you have your sheet in front of you that you brought in yesterday? Do you have your depth chart?
I have it downstairs because I still had them. I told you yesterday, Adam, a whole bunch of people had to change. They moved some guys out in Green Bay and replaced some guys I don't have yet. So I was doing that a little bit yesterday, so I've got to do more of it today.
Do you remember the name of the guy whose name changed?
Yes. His name previously was Zach Tom, and then he decided to, I think this is how it went. He wanted to, pay homage to his parents, and he changed it, and I think it's Baco Bewelly. I'm not sure. I got to make sure. I have to get the right name on that, because I saw that when I first did this, and I said, wait a minute, there's a depth chart, but what happened to Zach? He's not on here. And I think that's what it is. But I'm going to talk to some Green Bay people today to make sure I have that right.
Yeah, I know you will, because you're always prepared, but that is very funny to me. It could not have been easier at Zach Tom. And they're like, we'll throw you a quick little curveball there at the end.
Yeah, he's very good tackle, by the way. It's just that, and that's what threw me off. I didn't recognize the new name necessarily, and I'm thinking, what happened to him? Is he injured?
Well, at least Zach Tom was good.
That's all I can do. I haven't seen Green Bay practice. I don't know. It's kind of a guessing game that way.
Well, Pomp, we appreciate you joining us. We know you got a busy day, so thank you for making the time, and we will see you here soon. Thanks again.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Should be fun tonight at Acrisure Stadium. Looking forward to it.
That's right, Pomp. What time does coverage start?
We have 6:30 pregame show.
6:30 pregame. We'll be watching. Thank you, Pomp.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
What a man. You too. Bob Pompeani.